Dear friends, thank you so much for coming today in spite of your busy schedules and family commitments. This is our fifth meeting, like Nishit mentioned and Bhaskar mentioned. But this year it is slightly different, not slightly different, very different in the sense we have Dr. Gundu Rao and Mrs. Narmada Rao with us to join us and meet the people. That's a very special occasion for us. It gives me a great honor to introduce you, Dr. Gundu Rao. Actually, he does not need an introduction, but as a formality sake, I need to do that. He was a great professor, and as principal, he set very high standards for the pharmacy course and to Manipal itself. Dr. Gundu Rao did his bachelor's and master's in pharmacy in Belarus University and PhD in Germany. He started off his teaching career in BITS Pilani, and he was there for 11 years. He then joined the College of Pharmacy, Manipal in the year 1968 as principal. He left the college in 1978 and returned in 1984 as he could not stay away from the place he loved so much. During his tenure, he had seen hundreds, or maybe rather thousands of students graduate from the college. He also guided 6 PhDs. He wrote several books, notably textbook on inorganic pharmaceutical chemistry for B.Pharm and D.Pharm students. He also wrote a textbook on biochemistry for D.Pharm students. And he was also editor of Indian Journal of Pharmaceutical Education. After his retirement from College of Pharmacy, he joined Divi's Laboratories, Hyderabad as Director R&D, Regulatory Affairs and IPA in the year 1995. After retirement from the College of Pharmacy, he contributed to this Divi's Laboratories considerably, and it is one of the most successful companies in India. And incidentally, Divi's Laboratories is limited, the promoter of that company is one of his own students, Dr. Divi Murli. Unfortunately, actually he was supposed to be here today. Unfortunately, he had some family function he had to attend, and he excused himself and he dropped the trip to US. Dr. Gundu Rao has a very devoted wife who is also here today with us. Mrs. Narmada Rao has been so supportive to him throughout his career. Dr. Gundu Rao has 3 children, and all of them have settled down in the United States. He has retired now and enjoying with his grandchildren. He was such a loved and respected professor, nobody would forget him in their lifetime. I myself keep talking about him so much to my children. Incidentally, I called my son also to help me and myself to make some arrangements. You can ask him how much I keep talking about Dr. Gundu Rao to him. So thank you so much for being with us today. We are thankful to you for the quality of education the college imparted to us. We are proud of you, sir, for your knowledge and simplicity. And I request Mrs. Pony to give the, Mrs. Michael first to give the flowers to him, please. Yeah, please. I request Bhaskar to give away the memento to Dr. Gundu Rao. Sir, it's from us.
Friends, I am extremely happy today. For a long time I have seen some of you. I remember the names, but physically all of you have very much changed, but natural. And I'm very happy to see all of you have prospered and done a very good job and doing a good job in your chosen career. A teacher always wishes that his students excel him in all respects. Many of you have done that, and I am extremely happy to note that you have been able to find your own coordinates and come up in life. But what surprises me is that you still remember what you had done in Manipal, perhaps for 4 years or 5 years at the most, and that has not left your memories. I also still remember some of my college days, because that is the time when you have polished your brain and tried to absorb as much as possible of whatever is possible. It is not the information that is important, it is the attitude, it is the training of the mind to absorb new things. In fact, I am very fond of saying, one has to learn how to learn. It is a very difficult task. We think that learning is very easy. It's not that easy. One has to develop a technique of learning. And I have found always that a person is challenged approximately 15 to 20 years after the graduation. It is to prepare your mind for that period, which is very difficult. Nobody can predict. The change taking place in the world, in our profession, is so fast that it is almost impossible for us to guess what might come 15, 20 years later. I used to tell my colleagues that we have to imagine a curriculum that is useful to our students 15, 20 years later. It's a very difficult task. Therefore, what I have been trying to insist is, information is not very important. You can get that information almost at your fingertips, literally, because today from the computer, you may be able to get anything and everything. But what you have to train your mind for is where to look for it, how to coordinate that information, and how to implement it, or rather apply it to a new situation which you are going to face. That is the purpose of training your mind. Some of, I should say, our alumni, and perhaps seniors to you or maybe juniors to you, have taken up a different profession altogether, leaving pharmacy, and they have achieved something very great. So it is not necessary that if you have trained yourself as a B.Pharm or M.Pharm, that you should continue to do the same thing. It is not necessary. Because your mind has been trained, you can do many other things. Therefore, never leave an opportunity. If you get an opportunity, catch it and go ahead with that. I am sure you will come up very well. In fact, you have done already. So it is a very happy occasion. Mohan was saying that he wants to thank me. I should also thank you, and I should thank all of you for giving me this opportunity to see some of our alumni who have done so wonderfully well in their life. It's a great opportunity to see. Occasionally I used to tell in various places. There is a Sanskrit saying, it says something like that. Sishyat icchanti parajayam gurunam. What does a teacher desire? He wants a defeat from his students. Sishyat icchanti parajayam gurunam. That is what is great about a teacher who is selfless and who wants to see prosperity. Of course, there are always black sheep everywhere. You should not think that everything is so wonderful. There will be some people who are jealous of their students, but that's a small percentage. But every teacher, like every parent, really enjoys great success in their children or in their students. So that pleasure I have, and I must thank Mohan for giving me this opportunity. I did not know about it. He sent me an email saying that every alternate years we meet and since you are here in US, please come and. So I said I should certainly go and see. So it has been a great pleasure for me to be here. Normally this is not an occasion for speeches, and at least those of you who have heard my lectures, I'm sure, would be not very much more interested in speeches, because I used to take always the first period in the morning, well, I never insisted on punctuality and all that, and attendance. In fact, attendance I never used to take, but all of them were present, so there was no reason why they were not present. And if they are not present, they would come and ask me later on what I said and so on. So I never had any problem in those respects. But still, he asked me whether I can probably touch upon the research and development in India and how we can take India to the next level of research and development. Very briefly, I may mention the research and development in pharmaceuticals has not been there at the time of independence. At the time of independence, the total turnover of pharmaceutical industry was hardly about 10 crores, a very, very small figure, out of which 70% or more was done by multinationals who had their branches in India. So the contribution of Indian pharmaceutical industry was practically